Out here frogging today on the Tennessee River, and just a beautiful day. One of the biggest things I look for is finding that cheese, you know, the stuff that is real kind of yellowy, brownish, and it moves a lot, you know. It also creates just such a good thick cover over their head. Instead of it just being strands of grass, it kind of coats over the top of that mat. And those fish just love getting under there. And it's, in my opinion, the best stuff to frog is when you find that cheesy stuff. And it can be really good when you find a mixture, you know, kind of like we're fishing here, when you got some just normal grass that really hadn't cheesed out yet or topped out. And then you got that cheese in the middle. It concentrates those fish a lot and keeps them, you know, they get right under that cheese most of the time. Well, that one choked on it. Right down the chompers. Just engulfed that thing. Nice Gunnersville bass to start it off. People, you know, think that you have to be very methodical and pick apart a mat, and that's completely true. You know, when you have an area that you know those fish are under that mat, when you're kind of in search mode and kind of trying to find that area that you know there's that section that there's a lot of fish in that area and you can really slow down, is I like to just kind of work it pretty quick, make really long casts and just kind of work it and pop it pretty hard, you know, just work it real quick. And most of the time you're gonna get one to come up on it, or you're gonna see one blow up, so you can kind of work through pretty quick. Another thing that a lot of people do is they'll see a blow up pole or something, they'll throw it over there and it'll come across the mat or come across that blow up pole, and then they're, you know, reel it out, burn it out of the mat and make their next cast. And so a lot of the times that fish will follow it under the mat for a long time. And I work mine, you know, pretty much all the way up close to the boat, because you have no idea what's under that mat and what could be following your frog. So, and another thing is when you get an opening of water like this, you know, a bigger opening in the mat, it's a good area around the edges of that, because you know that it's a good hollow area, and you know, you probably have a lot of bait fish concentrated in that area. But I don't ever spend too much time, you know, working it in the open water. I like to keep my frog on top of that mat at all times, and when I come to an area, you know, as it's coming through there right now, and then I'll maybe pause it at the edge or something like that right before it gets to open water, and then I'll burn it across and get it right next to the next edge of that mat. And sometimes when you burn it like that, it'll make a reaction bite, because they'll see it coming up to that next line of grass so fast. As soon as it gets there, they'll bite it. Well, that's what you were looking for, wasn't it? Right on that, right there by the boat. Man, that's fun. It's crazy how aggressive these fish can be, and you have no idea that they're even looking at your bait or following it, and you pull it right out to the edge and they come up and just come unglued on it, man. It's just, I mean, right there, right in front of the trolling motor. Scared us so bad, we didn't even get a hook in it. I can't believe it missed it as hard as it hit it, but there's gonna be another one in here somewhere. I think one of the biggest keys when you're up shallow like this, or especially in, you know, heavy vegetation, is being as quiet as you possibly can. You know, you can see it's real still in here, not a lot of wind, and this power pole move, man, it's honestly incredible how quiet and stealthy you can be. This thing is deathly silent, and it will 100% get you more bites. When you're fishing in heavy cover, you know, you want to have a big line, you want to have a big rod, and you want to have a fast reel, because you want to be able to catch up to those fish and get them out of that thick stuff. So when I'm frogging, I love a 7.4 heavy, 7.6, you know, medium heavy. You can make that super long cast and also have the backbone to pull those fish out of that thick stuff. I'll throw it on an 8-to-1 gear ratio with a 50-pound Cortland master braid, And as far as frogs go, you know, this one I'm throwing today is, you can get them, you know, pretty much anywhere. It's a Spro Bronzeye, just a matte frog with a diamondback color. I think the color, you know, a lot of people think it makes a difference. I think you either go, in my opinion, a dark color, brown, black, something like that, or a white color. You know, white, if there's a little more open water, you're bringing it through, kind of gives it a flash. If there's a lot of bait fish or something like that, I think it can definitely make a difference. I always trim the legs on my frog just a little bit, because when you have those, you know, long legs that they come with, sometimes that you'll catch fish, you know, missing it. They'll hit behind it where those legs are at. You know, it's just a really good frog that catches bass. Oh, he missed it. Golly, he's all over it. He's no giant, but man, is it cool to watch him come jumping out of that grass like that. Like I said, he's no giant, but he's an aggressive one, and he's just got that thing, barely fits in his mouth. God, man, he came up on that thing 3-4 times, and finally he got it. You're gonna get blow-ups, you know, you're gonna have fish come up and they're gonna miss it. And the most important thing you can do is not move your frog when you have a fish blow up on it. Let it sit there, just keep, you know, reel it down, get a tight line, and if you feel them go, then you can reel down and set the hook. But you've got to wait, and you'll capitalize and catch so many more fish when you do that. Just let it sit. I mean, you don't have to move it at all. And then you can try to just give it one little pop. Most of the time, they're gonna come back up and annihilate it. Go, that's a good one. Oh, what an explosion. What an explosion and what a bass. Oh man, another just solid one. Face full of grass. Beautiful bass. We've just caught that last one probably 2 or 3 minutes ago, and you can kind of tell that we've covered this mat, you know, just picking it apart, and haven't touched the trolling motor, haven't moved the boat, put the power poles down. Grabbed us another one. I think we ought to get back in there and try to catch a couple more.